digging real deep. Some humble, they hearken, they listen, they mean.
Hey, so what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. Back with another video as usual, giving y'all that good content. Today, what we're gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the Lincoln Town Car. Pretty much kind of like a buying guide and what you need to expect when you're trying to buy a town car. We're gonna talk about the 1990s and up. We're not gonna go anything below that because if you got a 1980s town car, then I guess you're lucky. Whatever you want to say, but they don't make parts for those cars like that. As far as my knowledge is, mostly people deal with the 1990s and up. Let's get into it. But also, if you are new to the channel, man, make sure you go like and share the video, smash the subscribe button as well, turn on all post notifications so you can be notified every time I post a video. Let's get into it, man. So the production of the Lincoln Town Car started in 1989 in Wixom, Michigan. I might be saying that wrong, but Wixom, Michigan. These are the engine specs from 1989 to 1990, pretty much for that year or two. They used the 4.9 liter or the 5.0 liters, what they called it. It only had 160 horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. City mileage is 15 miles per gallon. Highway mileage is 22 miles per gallon. Combined, you'll get a total of 18 miles per gallon. That is really low, but for back then, that was, gas prices was a couple cents, so you can fill your tank up with like $5 or $10 at most. Or I think even $8. From 1991 and up, they used the 4.6 liter, which we see today in all the town cars, all the way up to 2011. They really should have adjusted that. That's why a lot of people do not buy this car as well. I'm kind of saying some facts in the middle of why I'm saying things as well. But that's why people don't really buy these cars like that, and that's why they have a low resale value, because you would expect more horsepower out of it. But yeah, so the 4.6 liter started making that in 1991. 210 horsepower, 270 pounds-feet of torque, or 280 pounds-feet of torque. All this information I got it from online, so everything is it's so hard to find information on a town car because it's an older vehicle, so there's not too much information as what you find on Mercedes or Charger, Challenger, Hyundai, things of that nature. But again, 15 city and 23 highway, combined 18 miles per gallon. So pretty much the same miles per gallon. So they should have just kept that same 5.0 in there if they was gonna get the same amount of gas mileage for the most part. It comes with a 4-speed auto transmission. It is a 6-seater. If you guys didn't know, this is a 6-seated car. Mainly those two extra seats are for like little kids for the most part, and it's a rear-wheel drive. This is a Mustang engine as well, so that 5.0 they had in there, they use it for the Ford Mustang from 1968 to 1978, so they always used a Mustang engine that was in that car. So any Lincoln Town Car that you see today on the road, it has a Mustang engine. It also had 3 transmissions. One of the first transmissions it had was an AOD or an AODE. They're pretty much the same transmission for the most part. Just different electrical components for the most part. That's pretty much it. Nothing different from the AOD. The 4R70W, a little revised transmission. Just changed the rear gears. So the rear-wheel drive had different gears to it. The gear ratio, like the first gear, just for example, the first gear was in the AODE or AOD. First gear was 2.47, second gear was 1.47, third gear was 1, and the overdrive was 0.67, and the reverse was 2. And this is for both the AOD and AOD. The 4R70W, sorry, it's kind of confusing, which was also in the Mustang as well. It had the gear ratio was 2.84. The second gear was 1.55. The third gear was 1. In the reverse is 2.32. So this transmission was in the later models of the Lincoln Town cars. We'll get into that. And it was also in the 96 to 04 Mustang. And the thing about it had a digital dash, and we'll get into that as well. Talk a little more about it. So the Lincoln Town car, this is a blue Lincoln Town car. This is the executive package. This is the base model, the base of the base. So if you're going to purchase that car today, that car would be $65K off the rip. Back in the day, $36,000, $36K. Really, the price would be $66K because you tack on all these taxes and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the price would be pretty high. I mean, even if it was that price, it would be fully loaded. You got to think about today's time as well. The car would be fully loaded, all the digital technology, all the stuff you see in the Lincolns today, it will be in that car. But $36,000 would have started off with back in the 1990s. You had standard leather seats. You had some nice interior trim with multiple colors. I'm gonna put some pictures at the end as well. I'm gonna show you all that. You had like red, you had blue, you had gray, all these type of trim. This to me was the best model. Oh, yeah, this to me was the best model town car. Not model, but the best interior-wise town car. Had more options for the interior. It was already kind of custom made, but it has cruise control. It had a digital speed cluster, as you've seen in the slide below or before. Nice little instrument cluster. Lincoln always kept their clusters digital for the most part. Climate control, you had cup holders, front and rear. And the executive package had a single exhaust. It was not a dual exhaust. This is the base model package, so you're getting a single exhaust. And it had a basic radio, just like all the other radios in the town cars do. So most of this is going to be pretty much redundant for the most part, just to be honest with you guys, because they really didn't change too much. So yeah, this is a signature package. The signature package was a little bit more, like $3 grand more for the most part. Today's price range, it'll be $68K. That's a lot of money for a car now, especially with the inflation that's going on. That is a lot of money for a car. Also, when you look at it too, it's a lot of money for a car that really didn't come with much. In the interior, it didn't come with like, especially at this time frame, it didn't come with like a GPS. It didn't come with Bluetooth, an aux cord. Just imagine paying that price back then. Imagine paying the price now for a car that exact price that's right there, paying for that $68K, and then paying for it now in 2022. I just couldn't imagine. But the signature package just came with premium leather seats, so it was a little upgrade with the seats. It came with dual exhausts. I believe they all factory H pipes for the most part, because I know my town car signature, it has a factory H pipe. Gives a little bit more rumble. Radio, CD, premium sound, JBL. So it had JBL. They eventually changed it to Alpine, I believe. I'm not sure when. Like I say, most of this information is concrete, but it's so hard to find information on this. I had to dig for information on the town car. There's really not a lot. And it's pretty much identical to the executive package. They both had 16-inch wheels because the frame was different. And once again, the nice digital dash. The layout, I like the layout better on these vehicles. The layout is better. So if you are looking for a 1990 through 1997 town car, this is the one that I recommend you go for. You can obviously change out the stereo. Really nice interior, man. It's just different types of interior. Colors and trims they had in there is really nice. And on to the next one. Once again, Lincoln Town Car. This is a Cartier package. They only had 3 packages when they made these vehicles at the time frame. So the price started at $41,000. In today's price, that would be $71,000. People really got to realize this. Like, these cars are worth like $2 grand now. I mean, literally $2 grand. This is a $71,000 car you can get for nothing. You ain't gonna find this too often anymore. You might find the 1998s and up more than you'll find the 1990s and through the 1997. But the Cartier package came with premium leather stitching, so the same kind of seats as the Signature, but it had the Lincoln symbol embedded in the seats, which is really nice. Interior trim, once again, multiple colors. So you had black, red, blue, gray, teal, beige, all those colors, man. It's a lot of colors this thing came with. You had cruise control, digital speed cluster still. I would say this, the digital speed cluster got changed in 1995. So the one that you've seen in the previous slide with that cluster, that's the 1995 through 1997. So it was all digital, but I do like the 1995 better. So if you are going for a car like this, I recommend that you get the 1995 and upward, or through 1997. That cluster is really nice. It's all fully digital, no analog or anything on there. Same with the old one, it's fully digital for the most part. The basic stuff, standard stuff, climate control, cup holders, dual exhaust, radio, CD premium, basic JBLs or Alpines. They kind of mix and match it at the time frame. And you also get a moon roof, so that's an extra feature added. You get a moon roof, you got a sunroof. You want to let the top up or whatever, not let the top up, but open that moon roof, let some air in, some sunlight, get that stuff like that. And you had 16-inch wheels as well. So for the most part, you were good to go. And these are just some extra pictures for you guys. Once again, the interior, man, look at how nice this is. If you got red interior, everything is red. The carpet is red, the seats are red, the doors are red. If you got a blue interior, the blue is blue. I said the blue is blue. The seats are blue. The carpet is blue. The doors are blue with some wood grain around it, man. This is the nicest one, bro. Like straight up, this is the nicest one. And then you see the picture down to the bottom left. You had the moon roof or the sun roof. It's pretty nice to the package. You had see what I'm talking about? Like the beige and the blue. That's nice. You can't go wrong with that. That's so nice. The only thing it didn't have is a wood grain steering wheel as well. The 90, I think the 90, maybe the 95s and up, or just the 98s and up had the wood grain steering wheel. But once again, you did have the cruise control, the radio controls on the steering wheel, all that basic stuff that you see in the car. Also, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put a video link up here with my 2003 Town Car. Pretty much has the same thing as the rest of these vehicles. They all made on the same platform. It's really different, but the facelift and stuff like that. But go watch that video. I'm gonna put it up here on the right or to the left, or should put it up here on the right. And I watched my review on my Town Car. Once again, also to the bottom right, you see the nice blue dash with the wood grain. That is nice, man. That is so nice. Sorry, the pictures aren't too great. Some of these pictures aren't great I got on here, so don't say anything about it. But some of these pictures aren't great for the most part because it's an older vehicle. And I couldn't find all the pictures in the world. There's not too many pictures for this car. But this is what you get. I mean, it didn't come with the most because it is an older vehicle. It was made back in the day, so it didn't come with much that you would see today, like blind spots, park assist, all that type. Well, it does have park assist, but you know what I'm saying? It didn't come with the basic stuff that you will see in today's time. So we on to the next Town Car, the 1998 to the 2002 Lincoln Town Car. Once again, sorry for the picture. These are the best I can find. The most clearest ones. As you blow them up, they kind of get a little distorted. Let's get into the Lincoln Town Car. That's a better picture. That is nice. That is real nice. So production 1998 to 2011. We'll get into why it's through 2011 and not through 2002. But made in Wixingham, Michigan, and also Toronto, Canada. Those produced in 08 through 2011. Engine specs. So once again, it started with the 1991 and up. Came with a 4.6 liter engine, a single overhead cam, not the dual overhead cam as the Mustang has. So it's the same engine as the Mustang, just doesn't have a dual overhead cam. It only has a single overhead cam. 210 horsepower, 280 pounds-feet of torque. You got 16 city and 24 highway combined with 18 miles per gallon. Still the same as the older model. Same, at least combined 18 miles per gallon. Connect to a 4-speed auto. 6-seater, once again, it can fit 6 people. Rear-wheel drive, and it got a little longer and it got a little taller. I'm sorry, it got shorter but taller at the same time. So you got more head space. And once again, like I mentioned a second ago, it has a Mustang engine in there from 1998 to 2004. And it also has a transmission in there, the same transmission that the Mustang has, the town car has. So pretty much you're paying for a Mustang, a slower Mustang. You're paying for a slower and luxury type of Mustang. It's what you're pretty much paying for. And all of these, the transmission and the engine is the most reliable transmission and engine that you're going to find on the road today. Just FYI. And for this new model, it has a new facelift. So pretty much the same thing, just a different facelift. A little different design on the door panel. Trunk size, all this stuff really is the same. We got some new features coming up, and then the redesign as well. So we're just going to start with the executive package once again. This is the base model package. You're going to pay $39K right out the window. Back in the day, today's price is $68,000. $68,000. That's pretty much average for a Lincoln. If you see Lincoln's prices today for their vehicles, it's pretty much about their average price. You're going to spend about that amount of money on the Lincoln right now. You got standard leather seats. So you got standard leather seats, interior trim. They're not like multiple colors that the old one was, so it's kind of different. They kind of downgraded in my opinion. You got cruise control. You had an analog/digital speed cluster, so it wasn't full digital as the old ones were. Cup holders front and back, single exhaust because it's a base model. Radio, same radio for the most part. The buttons were just bigger. That's all it says. The buttons were bigger. That's all I can find on there. And the buttons were bigger as you look at older town cars compared to the new ones. Pretty much reinforced windows or better windows, so less air, less noise, pretty much noise canceling windows. So it didn't cancel all the noise, but it canceled more than what the original town car did. So you have better windows, that better plexiglass type of material. So I'm going to go ahead and mention this while I'm here. I didn't mention it in the beginning. It has tilt steering wheel, rear parking sensors. It does have an outlet, a 12-volt outlet like most cars do. Front door pockets. You got back seat storage. All these cars come with a remote key, except for the 1995, I believe. It comes the 98 and above comes with the keyless remote. Keyless remote. You can open your trunk. You can lock your doors, things of that nature. You got vanity lights in the inside and also in the trunk as well, so it won't just be dark. And they all come with a compass, so you see where you're going, north, east, south, west, all that good stuff. And we're going to go to the signature package. Once again, most of all of this is the same. I might reiterate myself multiple times. Most of this is all the same for the most part. Nothing really different. Signature package. The signature package is pretty much identical to the executive. You just get premium leather seats, a little bit different leather seats. You get that dual exhaust, the H-pipe dual exhaust. You got the JBL. I believe they went to Alpine after the 1998, where like they just kind of mixed it in. You get 17-inch wheels, and you also can get 16-inch wheels as well. And yeah, that thing bad, man. That thing is a bad thing. So it's a little bit different. And also speak about the cluster while I'm looking at this picture. It was digital. It doesn't have the digital speed on there. It had just the analog speed. So it did show you your compass to your left, and then it showed you your distance to empty and all that good stuff to the right on the digital screen. And also the signature package came with the price was $39,000 or really $40,000. In today's price, it'll be pretty much $70,000 out the window, at the door. And also, man, while I'm here, they also did come with auto dimming a rear view mirror. And this is the Cartier package. You're gonna spend $42K or $42,000 on this Cartier package back in the 90s. Today's time that's $71,000. That is a huge increase. But we know the money in the cost of living is different and stuff. So yeah, you're gonna spend some good money on there. It had premium leather stitching in there, so it had the excuse me, it had the stitching, the linking symbol stitching on the seats. Interior trim, the same old man. Cruise control, analogs, speed cut, same thing. Climate control, cup holders, dual exhaust. Had the JBL moon roofs, the 17-inch. But moon roof was the only thing pretty much different than the signature. The signature package is probably the best package to go with. It pretty much has everything. I would say this: some of the signature packages do come with a stitched-in Lincoln symbol as well. So you just got to find the right deal and kind of look around more. But the signature and the Cartier is pretty much no different. This is a luxury brand of Ford, so there's really no difference, man. It really isn't. It's really hard to find a difference. The only difference that I've seen is the leather stitching in the moon roof. That's legitimately it. And here's some more pictures of some town cars. It's not bad. It's not bad looking. I like the 2003 better though. So it's 2003 Lincoln Town Car, man. We want to talk about the 2003 Lincoln Town Car, 2003 to 2011, or you can do 2003 through to 2004, because they did some extra stuff to it after 2004 as well. So production from 1998 through 2011. So once again, it's the same production. It's the same exact design as the 98. It just got a facelift. Also, yeah, facelift, made in the same place, Woxingham, Michigan, Toronto, Canada, 08 to 2011. Engine specs, same V8 engine, 4.6 liter, 239 horsepower, so that's a noticeable increase in horsepower. It was at 210, so it was about 20 plus more horsepower to the this engine. 280 pounds-feet of torque, around the same torque. You get a little bit more horsepower. You get 17 city and 25 highway, combined 19 miles per gallon. So we actually seen the difference. You get 19 miles per gallon on the average. All paired to the 4-speed automatic transmission, 6-seater, rear-wheel drive, and it's still the same length. So it's the same exact car, just a different facelift. Once again, new facelift to this vehicle, same vehicle. To the 2003 and up, you got new facelift, you got horsepower increase, and you got a couple new features. So we're going to talk about the executive package once more again. That executive package went up noticeably. I believe it started off at $36,000 with the 1990s and up. Now at 2003 and up, it is $40,000 or $41,000. Today's price that is $71,000. All the seats were all standard with leather seats, nothing different. Interior trim, all the same for the most part. If I didn't mention, the interior trim was just beige, gray, and black, and some other grays. But that's for the most part. It was really those 3 or 4 trims, and that was it. And coloring wise, in the interior. Cruise control, you do have the digital cluster. It's a little bit different of a digital cluster as well. The digital cluster on the 2003 through the 2004, it had the digital speed and the analog speed as well. Doesn't have. Oh, also about these cars, they don't show you the RPM as well. If you guys didn't know, but the digital cluster is pretty much the same, just like an upgraded version of the 98s. Still showed you the distance to empty, things of that nature. Climate control, cup holders front and back, dual exhaust. They all came standard with dual exhaust at this point. Radio, you had a basic radio, and you had a home link system as well. So you had your garage opener, things of that nature. And we're going to talk about the Executive L package. This is the long wheelbase package, pretty much identical to the Executive, the original Executive, without it being long wheelbase. In the rear, you do have a rear central console with switches. Those switches control the radio, and they can move the passenger seat forward as well. So when you get into the vehicle on the passenger side, the controls are mainly on the passenger side, the rear passenger side, so that person can control the seats and the volume. And also back there are cup holders back there, and there are some what's it called? Some lighters, pretty much lighters. If you are a smoker, they do have lighters in the back, and they do have some outlets back there as well. Once again, longer wheelbase, so you can put bigger wheels on there if you wanted to without doing what people do now. Normally, they do a lift kit or something like that. You do have rear vanity mirrors for both the rear driver, and the rear passenger as well. And your rear door is longer, so you have way more space back there. When you get in there, it's like you're sitting in the front seat. So that's the difference. Once again, the new facelift, the front looks a lot different. On the older ones, it's like a big wood ring piece, and there's a space between the radio and the climate controls. Now you have the climate controls at the bottom and the radio in the middle, and now you also have an analog clock at 2 and on top as well. Normally you would have the radio there, now they put an analog clock there. And that is it for the executive package of the vehicle, 2003 and up. Now we're going to go to the signature package. The signature package was a little bit more, about $2,000 more. I'm going to say about $44,000 on the vehicle. Today's price, that is $73,000. And once again, man, if you look at any Lincoln today, you're going to spend about that price on Lincoln. That's just dead on. Once again, no different from the executive. All the leather seats were standard the same way. Some of those leather seats did have the Lincoln stitching in them. JBL radio, and you had Alpine as well. Very 17-inch wheels on these 2003 and ups. And once again, you can see the leather stitching on there as well. Signature Limited package. So Signature Limited, which I wish I would have gotten. $43,000, pretty much the same price for the most part. You got power trunk, Lincoln stitching. You had a new steering wheel, and you had a moonroof as well. I think I didn't put the right prices on there. It should be $1,000 more, I believe. I think I kept it that way for a reason. But this is on the 2005 and up. They had a new instrument cluster with the actual speed cluster. I'm sorry, 2006 and up, where they had the digital speedometer is actually in the center. So instead of it being analog, it's actually a speedometer. Your speed is showing in the center, and it also shows you your RPM and things of that nature. But once again, it do come with a moonroof and that Lincoln stitching in the back, and the power trunk. The power trunk is where you can click your keyless remote, open your trunk, it'll open all the way up. You can click it, double click it again, and then it will go all the way down. That includes with the limited package. I like all the different type of color schemes they made for this car. No one's really doing this back then. All right, so Signature L. The L stands for long wheelbase. Once again, this package was $50,000 off the rip, or $51K off the rip. Today's price, it'll be $80,000. That is a lot of money. You can get like 2 Hellcats for that price, to be honest with you. Almost. Comes with leather seats, standard leather, all the same leather, just the stitching in the back. Longer rear. So you had that same rear. And this is the console that I was talking about. You had that center rear console where you had the cup holders. You have the tray in the back where you can put like a phone or something like that. You had the controls. You can move the seat up and down, and you can change the radio, turn it up and down, and change the radio station. Premium out radio. You had the premium radio came with a GPS. So this is for the 2003 and up. It came with a GPS. It was touchscreen as well. You had adjustable headrest, and you had the auto trunk as well back there, where you can double click that remote and hit that trunk. It will go up and down as you click the remote. You didn't have to manually close the trunk at all. And the Cartier package. The Cartier package was actually a lower trim level. Actually, the Cartier package stopped. Sorry, the Cartier package stopped after 2003. So anything 2003 and below, that's when the Cartier package existed. After that, Cartier package stopped. So the Signature L costs more because that's kind of like the Cartier package. So the Cartier stopped in 2003. It had the standard leather seats. It did have the auto trunk feature as well. The moonroof, the premium radio as well. It had this touchscreen radio, and it had the Alpine or the JBL system they had in there. And it had a CD changer in the rear. I don't know what the hell that thing is used for, to be honest with you guys. It's in the rear, it's in the trunk. It's like a CD changer. I have no idea what it is and why it's there and what it does, but it is there in the back trunk. Also, it came with 17-inch premium chrome wheels as well. And these are those wheels I'm talking about, those 17-inch chrome wheels. I don't think they went above 18. They all came standard 16 to 17-inch wheels for the most part. And that is pretty much it, man. Was there any major differences? Honestly, no. They pretty much were all the same except for the facelifts. The facelift, and they kind of downgraded on the digital cluster coming out of 97 and going up to 98 and above. They kind of downgraded when they stopped that. That was probably the best year they had. The nice color schemes, like I showed y'all in the beginning, the red, the blue, the black, the gray, the blue and gray. That's sick, man. That's straight up sick. That's the major difference to me, in my opinion. If anything, but it's not a major difference. It all had the same engine for most of its life, and they could have actually did more. And what are the pros and cons? The pros are, you get a big vehicle, you got a big trunk, you got a spacious interior. So if you had your passengers won't ever be cramped in there. It don't matter how far you pull the seat back. It don't matter how tall you is. Everybody's comfortable in that car. That's guaranteed. It's a reliable car. It's damn near maintenance free for the most part, and it's easy to work on. I mean, it's so many pros, man. It's so many pros. It's unlimited pros, man. Like, if you're watching this, I recommend that you get a town car, because you can always upgrade. Like, if you go watch more of my channel, I'm adding USBs to it. I'm adding extra outlets. I'm adding the stereos, GPS system, things like that, stuff to add onto it. The only cons, and I mean there's two cons, is the gas mileage. The gas mileage and the lack of entertainment system. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't see, that's the only con that you can say, the gas mileage. Mainly the gas mileage for the most part. Everything else is like, yeah, you can upgrade this. And this is what my channel is for. So, other than that, man. Actually, I say the gas mileage and the horsepower. I'm sorry, the gas mileage and the horsepower. They should have damn sure put the dual overhead cam and put a V8, the Mustang V8 in there, to where you'll get 300 plus horsepower. That thing would move. Now I'm gonna touch the Marauder by itself, the Mercury Marauder. That's a different vehicle. So I'm gonna go into the series where I'm gonna do the Crown Vic and I'm gonna do the Grand Marquis next as well. So be on the lookout for those videos. But if you are new to the channel, man, make sure you like and share the video. Smash the subscribe button as well. Turn on all post notifications so you can be notified every time I post a video, man. And I am out.